that your mom and my mom, they never gave up.
No.
And I am sometimes too quick to turn my back on people. Mm-hmm. I'll admit that. And, thank God, they didn't turn their back on us. And, of course, that's, a mother-son, mother-daughter thing there. Whereas a friend, it's I don't know. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, sometimes to just kind of turn your back. And that's something that you're great at, Marnie. Like, you hang in there, like, if she would have called me again, I don't know. I think she knew better. But, for you, I was just like looking at you and like, I was just like, why are you're just wasting breath and your time? And of course I didn't tell you that, but that's what I was kind of thinking. And, I'm never going to tell you what to do, or, well, sometimes I will, if you know what I mean.
Sexual relationship.
But, it just shows that the character that you have, and, your mom's right. Just keep doing what you're doing, Marnie. You're helping a lot of people, and, a lot of women do look up to you, and they should. You've come a long way, and you still got a long way to go, but so do I. We all do.
Yeah. And
one day we'll get there, and we'll be old and on a porch somewhere drinking strawberry coffee, which is amazing. It's so delicious. By the way. I think a Florida company makes it.
Yeah.
I think that's what's called, like, Florida Coffee Company or something. But, yeah, strawberry.
Strawberry shortcake.
Yeah. You're welcome. Mm-hmm. But we'll be sitting in the rocker drinking some coffee, and we'll be like, well, I got my 40-year coin coming up. And
no, though, it's so great doing just, you're not sitting in a rocking chair and being old, but doing that today and being like, I love my life. Mm-hmm. I love this, sitting drinking coffee, flavored coffee, enjoying the little things in life, and working on t-shirts and listening to you and all of your new plans and of all the great things that are going to happen and amazing stuff, just enjoying life. And I never thought that I would be in the spot that I am right now just a year ago. I mean, less than a year ago. I mean, more than a year ago. Sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm still thinking about. Yeah. Well, I just want to touch on real quick because I can't get this out of my head. Is how much alike that our moms are, because, and I've heard your mom say it on the podcast, the same exact, in the same words that my mom had said, is like, basically she said she just got to the point where she wasn't giving up, but she wasn't gonna, trying. She's like, I think your mom said, I just didn't know what else to do. And they didn't. And it was like, my mom said, if something's going to work, that I was going to have to find it myself. And, I mean, thank God I did. Literally, thank God. Because that's how I got there, to the point where I knew that if I was going to get better, that it needed to be on my terms, and it needed to be my decision. And it was time. And I pray that time comes for everybody sooner than later, for sure. If it's something that you need to deal with, is deal with your addiction. And because I didn't want to feel that way anymore. I didn't want to feel like I was feeling. I didn't want to live like I was living. And so I needed to make the changes that I needed to make to get to where I am today.
And you quickly got a position in a recovery center, treatment center. And I think that was like the first kind of step to where I think you knew that you needed to be working in a recovery community, because you take work serious. Mm-hmm. And you pride yourself in that. And I think that was one thing that you realized, okay, I got to go to meetings, got to do this, but you have to be involved. And for me, it was the same way. Now, not everybody's purpose is going to be, hey, I need to go, help out in the recovery community. Now, I do recommend that you do help people in some sort of way, kind of giving back. That makes you feel a sense of purpose. You actually get dopamine from doing that. Mm-hmm. So if you want to support 217 Recovery Rides, you want a little shot of dopamine, hit that donation button or support button, 217recovery.com. But the purpose for me was huge. Again, it's not going to be the same thing for everybody, but you were saying earlier too, Marty, there was another woman who said her daughter was, hooked on the pills, and well, then she kicked the pills, and well, now she picked up the bottle, and you know as well as I do that person is running from something.
Right.
There's something there that is not complete.
Yeah, that's another individual that reached out, and that's a tough one. That was I was telling you that, kind of running it past you, seeing what you had to say, because this individual is a friend of mine, and her daughter is struggling. Started off in pills, and from what she tells me, when I inquired about how she was doing, her answer was that she was doing better. She's off the pills, but she's worried because she said she's drinking a lot more. So, in not knowing this person and not being around this person and not knowing what that means, because everyone's idea of she drinks a lot more, what does that really mean? I don't even know what that really means, because I know her daughter's young, and there are a lot of people that go through these phases, of drinking, or what do they call experimentation of different things. And then, like, some people go through it with pot, like they smoked weed all the time, quote unquote, all the time for a couple of years or whatever, and then they just didn't do it anymore. Are they an addict or not? I don't know. It's a good question. But that being said, is that I was left wondering to myself, was like, okay, well, I can't very well just tell my friend, well, your daughter's got a problem. She's an addict. She's just addicted to alcohol now, because I don't know the situation. But what I was saying was that, she's young, whatever. And then I said, but if she's an alcoholic, and these are the words I said, and if she's an alcoholic and she's drinking, she's drinking because to her drinking is fun. Just like for me, drinking was fun until it wasn't. Until it became a chore, it became a lifestyle, and it became a physical need. And that's how I lived my life, is everything. Alcohol came first. So I'm hoping that her daughter's not at that point. I don't really know. I'm definitely going to keep in contact with her and follow up with everything. But, just another example of, that people that really, they want to, that want to know how to handle situations, and she's my friend, we're talking about her daughter. She's at a loss. She doesn't know what to do, and it's not like I have the answers. I think more so she just wants somebody to talk to, and try to sort through things best she can. And who better to talk to than somebody who's been through it? That exactly is the reason why I love my job, is because I don't feel like I'm doing my job better than other people. I'm doing my job because I understand my job, because I've been on both ends now, and it's easier because I'm looking at these women, and it's like I'm talking to my old me. So, and I know the questions that are going through their head, and I know the crazy thoughts that they're thinking, and the worries and the concerns that they have, and I can address them even before they come out of their mouth, because they have to be thinking them, because, well, I'm not saying not all of my thoughts exactly, but in general, where you're at when you're in treatment. So that's part of why I like my job.
So do you think that your friend is more on guard? Well, obviously she would be, because you think, okay, I've seen her struggle with the pills. Now the alertness is more, it's ramped up a little bit more, and she sees the daughter, oh, no, she's drinking. And like you said, you're not there. You don't really know the whole situation. I heard it. I'm like, okay, it does sound like she might be running from something, but we don't really know that, as fact. Maybe she drinks on, it's 2 weekends in a row where she just got drunk or whatever. Mm-hmm. Does that make her an alcoholic? Does that mean she has a problem? I don't know. Only she can answer that. Yeah. But the mom could see that and go, oh my gosh, that's 2 Sundays in a row I've come over here, she's drunk, she must be drinking all the time, she's probably, when she needs help. We don't know. And if you're worried about your son or daughter or your wife or husband, and you're thinking about, like, the drinking has ramped up, and it went from started out fun to now they're drinking because they get home. Like, just, hey, I made it home. It's good drunk. That could be the sign of a huge problem, and it's hard to get to the root of it, and you don't really want to come out and say, hey, honey, I think you need to go see your therapist, but know that being mad at them and trying to go that route with it really doesn't help. It's probably counterproductive, in my opinion. There's a guy I know who lives in Boyne City, and his girlfriend, I guess, and again, I don't know if she's an alcoholic or whatever, but I know she had went through AA. I think she was court ordered. So, she gets a couple DUIs or whatever, and she has to go. Well, does that mean she's an alcoholic? No. Not everybody that gets caught or pulled over drunk driving, whatever you want to call it, has a problem. They just made a bad choice. So there they are. Now they have to go to AA, and everybody's telling her that she's an alcoholic and this and that. Maybe she's not. Maybe she just likes to get effed up once a month.
Drive every time. I know that's a tough one for me. No, it's okay.
Women can have sex when they're drunk, and then it not be sex. It could be a whole crime. Then that's something that bothers me.
Yeah.
But you're not. How one aspect, you're not responsible for what just happened to your vagina. But the second hand, hey, wait a minute, you're responsible for driving that car. To me, that does not make sense. And I know that, and I'm not trying to go down this road because it's a bad one, and I don't want to have this debate with anybody. But yeah, so I don't know if she was driving every time. She just drove, got caught twice. Boyne City is very small. So whatever happened, I don't know. But instead of bringing a breathalyzer home and, hey, when you come in my house, you're going to breathalyze, how about sit your loved one down if that happens to you, sit them down and say, what's going on?
Yeah.
And if they say, I really don't think I am an alcoholic, well, listen to them. Maybe they're not.
Right.
I know I am. That's all I know.
I think the thing with the DUIs that people have a problem with is, like, if they've gotten caught X amount of times, how many times have they actually driven drunk? Mm-hmm. Which means how many times have they had too much? So it's supposed to kind of correlate. I guess you think about it. Like, let's say you've driven hundreds of times drunk, and then you've gotten caught once. So if you get caught twice, does that mean, you know what I mean? I think people look at it like that. Like, if your more chances of having more DUIs means you most likely have an issue with alcohol if you have multiple DUIs. I mean, just from standing back, I think that's what that's what a person would think is like, well, if they have multiple DUIs, it means multiple times they've, had too much.
I don't know. I don't personally look at it like that.
No, I agree. I'm just saying from a kind of a far away.
Now, if someone goes out and they know, oh man, I'm gonna get effed up tonight, and I'm gonna drive the F home, that's a huge problem. That's just being an ass. But I'm sure that happens. Those are the people that I really don't think. But like when I got my OWI, I don't remember driving. There's no reason for me to go anywhere. I don't know what happened. I blacked out, and that is very scary.
You're saying that you were saying that you didn't drink and drive.
Mm-mm. Right. I didn't. I've never been pulled over before. Like, I've said this 1,000 times. Like, if you'd got me going to the liquor store the next morning, I'm sure if you'd given me a breathalyzer, it wouldn't have been good. But I've never just went around driving around drunk. That's just I valued my alcohol too much. Mm-hmm. I wanted my drinking alone, and I wanted to do it the next day too. So. But yeah, so that was something that for me, it was crazy. But yeah, so I don't know. Either or, if your loved one is kind of doing that, talk to them, and just talk to them, listen. Mm-hmm. Maybe do more listening than talking, but
yeah.
And maybe they won't want to open up. I know when people would come at me